So you're anxious to hear the story? Well, what kind of a story would you like to hear? A fairy tale?
No.
Perhaps a story about pirates and adventure?
Yeah. No.
Well, come on, tell me, what kind of a story?
They said you would tell us a story about a baby.
Oh, yes. A baby. Well, this will be a story about a very special baby. This is the story about the first Christmas, almost 2,000 years ago. It was a bitter, cold winter night, and the wind was blowing so hard it made tears come to your eyes. And on that wintry night, a young couple were traveling on their way to Bethlehem, and they were very cold and very tired. Now, these two travelers were very poor. They had only one donkey. The man was a carpenter named Joseph, and his wife was Mary, and she was going to have a baby. And they had a long, long distance to travel.
You said they were on their way to Bethlehem.
That's right. Well, finally, after much travel, Joseph saw this dim light. It was an inn, and he told Mary that everything was going to be all right.
Is an inn like a motel?
Yes, yes. A place where they could stay. Well, Joseph thought maybe if Mary could get out of the cold and rest a while, she might be all right. So, helping her along, they went to the door of the inn. Joseph knocked. And when the innkeeper opened the door, he took one look at that worn-out couple and knew they didn't have any money. Sorry, he said, no vacancy, and shut the door fast.
That was a mean thing to do.
Yes, it was. Joseph was badly disappointed, but he understood. He looked at Mary, and she was too tired to even cry. Maybe that's when he got this bright idea about the stable. You know what a stable is, don't you?
It's like a barn.
That's right. Well, Joseph figured that it might be warm in the stable, and if Mary could get out of the cold and rest a while, she might still be all right. So they went to the stable. Joseph opened the door, and they walked in. It was warm, all right, but very, very crowded with animals. Donkeys and cows and sheep and horses. And for a while there, it looked like Joseph and Mary wouldn't be able to squeeze in. But then a very, very strange thing happened. All the animals must have noticed Mary standing there. And they all moved over and made room for her.
Animals are swell.
And Joseph got some fresh straw and fixed a bed for Mary. And she lay down. And then a hush came over the stable, like in a church. All the animals got very, very quiet. The donkeys didn't bray. The cows didn't move. And in that hush, the baby was born.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. Stars in the bright sky, down where he lay, and the little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
That is the story about the baby.
What was the baby's name?
They called him Jesus. He taught us that there is good in all of us, that we can always improve our lives no matter what has happened in the past. He also taught us that the most important thing in the world is to love one another, to understand and to forgive. That's what this day is all about. The all-forgiving spirit of Christmas.
And now Santa's going to give out the presents.
What you thinking about, D'Artagnan? I was thinking about that song. Away in the manger? Yeah. You know, That's what he used to call that haystack back in Whitaker's barn, you know.
Oh, you busted me on that, didn't you? Yeah. I know. I thought about that, too. Thought about it all the time that Dr. Hardy was telling that story.
Want to know something, Luke? That's the first time I ever heard that story.
Are you serious?
I mean, the way the doc told it. You know, my old man, he told me Christmas was just something made up by merchants, you know?
Hutch, my dad said that you should be getting some rest now.
Yeah. Okay, Laura, I will. Thank you. Just a minute.
You know something, you guys? When my mother was alive, every year at Christmas, she used to put something out that looked kind of like that. It wasn't quite that nice because it was all out of cardboard. But she put it out. And she used to tell us that the people who lived in those days used to believe in miracles. And she used to say, you children live in these days, and don't you forget how to believe in miracles.
I could use a miracle in my life, you know.
Take that.